Working. Oh, now it's working. Hey, everyone. Good Friday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Witcher TTRPG. I am Simon at Wandering DM. We'll just go around the table, introduce ourselves. I'll be GMing tonight, and we have a special guest that we have announced and teased that for, like 4 months?
Gotta be.
So let's introduce ourselves. We'll go around the table as usual, and we'll finish with our guest for the evening. So why don't we start with you, the Witcher, Jillian?
Hey guys, I'm very excited for tonight, but also very sad because I am playing Ariella, our friendly neighborhood Witcher, who is kind of a little sad today in the most Witcher way possible.
Moving on from Ariella, who's lived some pretty heavy things. Steven, wow, I blanked out for a moment. I'm sorry. Steven, who are you playing?
I'm Steven. I'm playing a knight tonight. Kahir Caradwin different but weird.
And our last regular player, Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm playing Ilona, the Elven Bard. She's actually not too sad right now, which is, I guess, a nice change.
And we have with us our very special guest. Who are you and who are you playing?
My name is Kelly, known as the Opera Geek, and I am playing Triss Marigold, the best of the Marigolds. And also, totally not someone who would take advantage of amnesia.
Not at all. Never.
Nope.
And so we'll start the game on the second day of your trek to Vizima. You are, the rest of the group are on the ship, on the boat, the Skellige boat that you've chartered to sail down the river from Novigrad to Vizima. And the voyage has been pretty uneventful. Huon and Muin have been eyeing Ilona and Ariella for the whole trip, and they've been reprimanded often enough by their sister, the captain. As much as they fought amongst each other during the trip, they are very professional and very skilled at what they do. And it's literally a joyride. There's no danger, there's no stress to be had, there's no nothing. And within 2 days you get to the walls of the city of Vizima in Temeria. The port is busy. Not as busy as Novigrad. It's not as big a city. And it smells worse than Novigrad. You notice that there's a lot more guards than they were in Novigrad, though there's much less priests and other members of the Church of the Eternal Fire spouting their creed on the streets. Though you do notice the cathedral is there in town. There's a massive castle. And, well, it's your typical medieval city, if you will. Except that they actually have a working sewer system, which throws everything out in the river where you are. So as fun as the trip was, the arrival in Vizima is a stomach churning. But you step off the boat, and Captain, I was going to say Gertrude, but that wasn't her name. Does any one of you remember the name?
Yeah, it's it's Grinhilda.
Grinhilda, thank you.
It's one of the only 2 notes I wrote from last session.
Yes.
The first one was Kahir wins a duel.
I had Gertrude, but that's from the Warhammer game. I'm sorry. I'm mixing my my grr names. But she bids you farewell and says, if you ever need another ship or something, just... Well, you can find me in Skellige from time to time, and Novigrad the rest of the time, but you'll never see me in here again.
Ilona's gonna say, are you off to the tournament then?
The what?
The tournament
What tournament?
in Skellige. I heard there was a tournament.
Oh, just because I'm from Skellige doesn't mean I know everything that's going around in the Isles.
I mean, you seemed like you wanted to go back. I just thought, especially your brothers seemed like somebody who would enjoy watching grown men fight each other.
Mewen turns around and says, What tournament? Where's that?
There's one in Skellige.
Grimhilder turns to you and says, well, now you've done it. I'm going to have to bring them home and bring them to that tournament, if there's even one. We don't do that. We're not...
I don't know. It's apparently very secret, but I would put my money on Sifona.
Doesn't sound like a warrior's name. Sounds like the name for someone who'd probably, I don't know, buy boots or something.
Well, I'll have you know, he is quite something. In many ways.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. She looks again in her Drakkar and says, are you sure you've got everything?
I
'Cause-
believe so, yes.
Alright. Ariella, Kahir. Yeah? Alright. They moor the boat to a quay. They get you off, and as soon as the last of you has stepped off the ship, the two brothers start reeling the ropes in, and they leave just as fast as they came. Leaving all three of you stranded on the quays of Vizima.
I really didn't think it was going to get any worse than Novigrad.
Yes, it is quite terrible here, honestly.
Well, I guess we better take looks around. Notices scenery. I guess we should get to it then. Why we came.
So is this like, does Vizima look like it does in the first Witcher game? Because
It's better rendered.
okay.
And it's...
I know my way around Vizima real well.
Actually fight people pretty well without freezing.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I've walked
bigger.
through Vizima for many hours then, and I know where to go everywhere.
Yeah, but your Vizima had like 2 streets. It's the same layout,
Okay.
if you will. There's a low city, there's an upper city, and then there's the castle.
Okay.
And there's also the call it the non-human ghetto.
Non-human quarter, yeah.
Yeah, that's halfway in the lower city and half outside the city of Vizima in the swamps to the northwest of Vizima. And then the outskirts and everything.
Yeah.
But the city itself is fairly... It might be about half the size of Novigrad, looking at it. I mean, Ilona, you've traveled before, so you've probably been to Vizima before.
Probably.
You know your way around.
I'm super old. I've probably been around the countries. Yeah. So I guess I will just kind of lead them to the gates, I guess. Go inside. The reason I ask about is it like The Witcher 1 is like, is it in quarantine?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Look, I've only played one game. That's my entire knowledge of this. It was like less than $1, so I
That's okay. That's the only one where you get to go there.
yeah, so I don't know. Go to the
The castle?
I guess no, not to the well, probably not to the castle. I guess I'll go to the fancy part of town where I think Triss Marigold would live and start asking where to find Triss Marigold.
Sure, so upper city it is. You're not slumming around.
Yeah.
Are you? No? Okay, good.
No.
Then in that case, I know the merchant has the ability to do it right away. In your case, I'm just going to ask a quick... let's go with charisma check.
Charisma check?
Yeah, just see how approachable you are, and to make sure you...
incredibly approachable.
Yeah, to make sure
I could
you
also
fail
roll
put...
streetwise.
That would be more if you were looking for someone that is less...
It is
I was going to
less
say
okay.
high maintenance as Triss Marigold.
I could roll, yeah. I could roll persuasion? Seduction?
Sure. Well,
Can I roll
even...
seduction?
Oh, you can... Yeah, sure. If you want to
Like,
seduce your way through
Yeah,
the upper town.
Hell yeah, I do. This is me we're talking about. Wait, let's just, yeah, 34. The entire city of Vizima is in love with me.
Everyone gives you some very confused looks when the only thing you ask of them after you flirted for a few seconds is, where's Triss Marigold? There might be a lot of sort of like the penny dreadfuls of the time that might be written about Triss Marigold and the Elven Maiden. But they'd all point in the same direction. She's the advisor to King Foltest. You'll find her in the castle. That's where she resides. She rarely comes out, and even when she does, we don't necessarily recognize her.
Okay. I guess we have to get into the castle then. That's going to be difficult. Although maybe not. People seem to be very nice to me here.
Fun was the word I was thinking of. It should be fun.
Yes, well. People are so friendly here. Did you expect people to be just quite as friendly as they are?
Not at all. I actually had a pretty bad feeling about this place.
I don't know. People are so friendly. More friendly than I was here last time. Something must be in the water. Anyway. Yeah, I guess we'll make our way to the castle. Can I use my 34 seduction to get into the castle?
Well, as you approach the castle, they ask what business would bring an elf, an Nilfgaardian, and a mutant.
Hey, I don't have anything stamped on my forehead.
Yeah,
that
it's
says,
true.
"Hi, I'm from Nilfgaard." Except my accent. I mean...
Oh, I was gonna say, and your horse, but that's true. You don't have a horse anymore, so they only ask what does an elf, a mercenary, and a mutant have to do in the castle. What business do you? I'm sure we can accommodate you, Miss.
I have business with the Lady Triss Marigold.
The two guards just look at one another. They let you in, but they will demand that all of you be hand over your weapons.
Oh, but I like my weapons so much. I'm not very good at them. They're just very pretty. Can't I keep them?
Look, we don't want any trouble, miss.
Oh, we'll be no trouble at all. We're just an alpha mercenary and a mutant. There's nothing we can do.
It's got a point. I'm not even very good with this thing anyway.
Alright, but you make it quick.
As quick as it can be, of course.
And you do not bother His Majesty.
Oh, I have no business.
Nope.
Oh, wait.
No business with him at all.
They let you in. And you notice they've shown you the way to Triss's quarters, but the whole way through, people are keeping an eye on you. Everyone's eyeing you suspiciously, but, you know, you're walking around with your weapons like you should be. I guess if they let you in, that should be normal. There's a lot of security breaches in Vizima. A lot of them.
I just smile and nod at everybody that looks
Yeah.
at me weird.
So does Alona, actually.
You probably made the day of a lot of guards. Triss lives in a... Not going to call it a mansion, but it almost could be. It's an estate on the castle ground.
You can call it a mansion. It's okay.
Alright, it's a mansion on the castle ground. It doesn't rival the castle itself, the fortress, in size, but it is a 3-story high building, the type of which there would be no room for in Novigrad. And it's decorated the way Triss... How would you have decorated your house? The outside, anyway.
Well, Triss has always gone for, you know, as far as her building structures, that is, quite elegant design. So it's, you know, traditional, classic Temerian design on the outside, but on the inside, it's much more well appointed. Lots of tapestries, I think. Probably got unicorns on. No unicorns.
No unicorns. I don't think you
No
would like to
unicorn.
have.
So just the outside is really beautiful. It's got like this beautiful wooden door, iron, brass door knockers.
And it is on these very finely carved brass door knockers that you hear the of someone knocking at your door this very morning.
Don't I have servants?
There's one that, yes, does open the door, but doesn't mean you didn't hear it. There's a... Well, let's ask Triss. Who's the servant answering the door?
She is the sorceress in training. I'm supposed to be training up.
Ooh, Priscilla.
Yes.
All right.
Priscilla answers my door.
As any good apprentice would. Ilona, you have seen Triss Marigold before. You remember her from descriptions, either from the Battle of Sodden Hill, or even have seen her before, since she's somewhat of a figure of importance in international politics. It is not Triss Marigold that answers. It is a younger woman. Jet black hair, with light freckles on her face. Her nose is slightly upturned, and she has deep brown eyes. She's well dressed, but not overly so. She doesn't look like someone who would belong in court, but someone who has definitely invested in the grooming and style skill. She wears a tight black corset over a tan shirt that goes down like the shoulders. She has a simple necklace made out of silver and a long black dress.
Yes. Hello. We'd like to speak to Miss Marigold, if possible. We have something of hers that I suspect she would like returned, and we'd like to discuss it with her.
Oh, and Pritel, what would that be? I might be able to answer you. Mistress Marigold doesn't want to be disturbed.
It's quite important. It's a rather dangerous book.
A book, you say?
Yes. Stolen, I believe.
Oh. And did you steal it?
No.
Are you bringing it back because you feel guilty about it?
No, actually. I was hoping that we could convince her to destroy it.
And from above, on the top of the staircase, you just look up and Triss is leaning over. Why would I destroy my own property?
Well, your property does spawn very large, very frightening monsters, and seems to have something to do with some one-eyed ravens. And why
sorry
don't we just come in and discuss this,
Yes.
not in the doorway?
Yes.
Priscilla is still holding the door, and she puts a hand on the threshold and turns to you, Triss, and asks, Mistress Marigold, do you really want them to come in? They look like vagrants.
I don't look like a vagrant, do I?
I've known many people who look like vagrants. Some of them have been very interesting. You can lead them into the parlor.
Oh, Ilona will look at Priscilla and say, "Oh, I promise, I'm a very interesting person."
I find, however, that the ones who think they're interesting are often not as much. And Triss will walk into the parlor.
Well, I guess she has
like a nice lady.
I was gonna say I'll turn to the rest of them. I guess she has to be wrong some of the time.
Priscilla removes her hand from the threshold and says, "Please come this way. Follow me." And she brings you to an impressive parlor. That is probably filled with books, filled to the brim with bookshelves and trinkets. Or what would your parlor have as far as...
A really fantastic fireplace. A really fantastic fireplace. Probably a lovely fur rug on the floor in front of it. And books. Lots of books and lots of little figurines that are a little disturbing if you look at them for too long.
I trip just a little bit on the rug as I walk in. just a bit. But I catch it and look around, make sure nobody noticed.
I probably would have noticed.
There is not much that happens that
I noticed
Triss
it.
notice in her house.
As far as you're concerned, Priscilla is unaware. And she asks, Mistress Marigold, is there anything you would like me to serve the guests?
You can bring them some light refreshments. Let's start with some drinks. Someone find the Nilfgaardian a chair before he hurts himself.
Yes, yeah, I'll ask for help, mistress. And she excuses herself. You've never seen Priscilla run away from a situation and not nip at your heels as she is wont to do normally. But she
Triss
will
will
bring...
sit
Oh,
up-
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Triss
go
will
ahead.
sit down and situate herself on, a really lovely chair by the fire. And gesture for them all to sit.
I
The
will
chairs are brought. Yeah, chairs are brought. There's a tray that Priscilla brings with three bottles of rosé wine from Kovir. No, wait, Kovir's too far to the north. It's frozen. Well, no, I was going to say not Toussaint because normally this would be the fancy things.
Right.
So
Yes,
from Etolia.
Toussaint makes rosé in the northern part of Toussaint, but I would not give these people my Toussaint wine.
No, it's
Not yet. I don't know
it's
yet.
good wine, but it's not like she didn't
It's
go
like-
in the
it's
expensive
table
bottles.
wine. It's Temerian
Yeah.
table wine.
And
It's like Italy. They've all got their little vineyards.
yep. So she brings that with glasses for everyone. And asks you, Triss, do you need me, Mistress Marigold? I believe Ada wanted to talk to me.
Ada wants to speak to you quite a lot.
She's
You
a
can
nice
go
girl.
speak with the princess. Make sure you
Thank you.
take notes.
Yes, mistress. Thank you. And she takes a satchel that she normally carries around with her and leaves. Closes the door very, very smoothly.
So Triss will pour herself a glass of wine.
She seems very lovely.
A lot of things can seem. So, will you all introduce yourselves?
Yes, my name is Ilona Invaronis. This is Ariella, and this is Kahir.
So a Nilfgaardian, an elf, and a witcher. Where are you from, witcher?
Do I remember like what region my school is? I have to find that on the map again.
It is in the Dragon Mountains.
Yeah, it's in the Dragon Mountains. Yeah.
You notice she bears the necklace of an owl's head.
So,
Sorry.
female witches?
Yes, my school is made up most of female witchers. A rarity, you might say.
A school whose motto is an owl and made up of all young women. I'm going to have to let Philippa know about that one. And the bard.
Yes,
I've known some bards in my time.
I'm sure you have.
So, how did you end up with the Nilfgaardian?
Oh, he saved my life, and I swore a life debt to him, and now... I don't know, we did have a grand quest, but that didn't quite turn out, so...
They tend to not.
We're still on our grand quest.
Are we?
I believe so. He looks over at you, kind of. You can tell like he wants to wink, but he holds back.
Ilona will like smile at him and wink back.
Well, Nilfgaardian, I must say I commend you on your strength of character for walking into Temeria at a time like this.
Well, I appreciate it, ma'am. Unfortunately, I wasn't much wanted in Nilfgaard any longer.
Nilfgaard does have that effect on people, I've noticed. So, you say you found my book.
Yes, Ariella, I believe you have it.
I'm gonna go into one of the two bags that I have and go
I'm
into...
sure we like consolidated, so there's only one bag now, so not just like...
I don't think she would have done that. She would have refused it.
The other bag still has the name Idrix stitched in it.
Yep. As all bags do. I'm gonna go into Edric's bag and pull out the book.
It is, yep,
This is yours.
the book with the 8 eyes standing in a circle, bound in leather, very thick. You remember it. You remember it quite well.
I will reach out and take the book. Well, is that all?
No, like I said, we would like to convince you to destroy it.
As I said, is that all?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest. I saw what came from that thing, and I'm not easily swayed by force. And it swayed me quite easily.
I can...
Something about opening up... Oh, gosh, I wish Edric was here. A convergence of something or other.
The spheres?
Yes, that.
Yes, well, lots of
You
people
know,
have
there
already
are
been-
8 one-eyed ravens trying to kill your king.
You know a lot.
It's true.
Possibly
I mean-
more than you should.
Well, the other book is being held by, I believe, somebody who I can't quite be sure, but somebody in league with these 8-1-9 ravens. It was last seen in Novigrad. Unfortunately, we could not track it down.
Well, if it was seen in Novigrad, at least you've given me a place to start. I can assure you that my abilities at magical tracking probably exceed yours.
Oh, definitely. I don't do anything with that. Hocus
We
pocus.
don't. This book is not for the faint of heart, nor is it going to be destroyed. At least not right now. This book was stolen from me.
Yes, I'm very interested to find out how a book from the library of the great Tris Marigold ended up in the hands of some foolish Scoia'tael.
So am I. Do you know anything about that?
No. A very scared young man came to us and asked us for our help.
Mm-hmm.
And we fought a very large monster. And she'll describe the the weird antler mouth beast.
What is a Leshen?
It was terrifying.
No.
Imagine.
It's like a literal eldritch horror.
Yeah. It's, I'll post it in the Twitch chat if you want.
Right.
Just so everyone has nightmares tonight. Let me
It's
just
already nightmares.
pull up a picture.
I'm sorry.
Think. Oh no, it's all right. I
been a
think
long
this
day.
one is enough. Copy image address and Twitch chat. Here it is. If you want to click on that, this is what came out of your book. Which,
Well,
by the way,
that's
there were no illustrations in it.
That looks kind of silly.
It does. Unfortunately, it is not that silly.
Well, I wouldn't imagine.
Anyway,
Monsters tend not to be.
it was quite dangerous, and I believe it has something to do with these very disturbing ravens that seem to be following us around.
Well, I shall certainly take your concerns to the lodge. I don't think that outright destroying a book of this magnitude is a great idea. But I'm sure when I speak to everyone, they might have some notion of how to proceed.
Yes. We did previously have a mage in our ranks until the mage hunters separated us. And he also recommended the book be destroyed in case you thought this was some kind of ignorant fear.
The mage hunters took him or they killed him.
Oh no, he got away from the mage hunters.
We killed them.
Yes.
No,
Were these Radovid's mage hunters? Or
Nilfgaardian.
Nilfgaard.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Well,
I
the
believe.
mage hunters weren't killed. The leader that wanted.
Okay, wait, hold on. Kelly has to rewind her brain a second.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Does Radovid have mage hunters right now? Because he hasn't.
No, that's it. Since we're not playing in the game, Radovid isn't
Yeah,
even
thank
king
you.
of Redania.
Thank you.
But it's okay. Nilfgaard has mage hunters for all of those mages that tried to run away from their imperial duties. Because remember, mages in Nilfgaard are basically slaves, so they'll often try to hunt down, and that's what they're referring to.
And Emir Bar Emrace is
Still the emperor.
correct. That little hedgehog.
Yes. Well, there was a mix-up with the portal. Anyway, the point is, I want you to know that as glib as I may be, this is quite important. I don't really know what to do about this threat against your king, but I suspect that is in your hands now.
That is my job, yes.
Yes. There are 8 one-eyed ravens, or one very large 8-eyed raven. I've seen both. Told me personally that they would like to kill your king.
I think you'll find that at any given time of the day, there are a great many people who would like to kill my king.
Are they usually very large birds with 8 eyes that have those same 8 eyes on your book?
Not usually, but I'm sure I can make an exception.
Anyway, it was very nice to meet you, Tris Marigold. I have heard very much, and you have certainly lived up to your expectations.
Ah, yes. Julian would have made that, insult just a tad more blatant.
Oh, I was not... I intend...
What were your expectations?
Well, you are powerful, headstrong, and opportunistic. None of those things are necessarily bad qualities.
Well, they certainly wouldn't be to a bard, no. Huh.
And you are as beautiful as
Oh, come
they
now.
say.
You've already, that ship has sailed.
Oh, no. I wasn't going to point it out because you obviously very clearly know.
Sadly, I don't think bards have ever been my thing anyway.
Oh, I wasn't offering.
Good, I wasn't looking. I saw what you...
This whole time.
I saw what
sorry.
you did outside. Nice trick.
Oh. Thank you. It's, quite frankly, the only way I get about in the world.
Yes, I know someone very similar.
Well, unfortunately, unless they're looking at my face, they're looking at my ears, you understand.
Let's just say I have some sympathy for marginalized people.
I'm glad to
I've
hear
heard
it.
a great many. And I find often that they are much more preferable to the ones who are hunting them down. Now, these ravens, as well as, have you met any other monsters along the way? Or just the one that came out of my book?
Oh, there was a grave hag. It was the Beast of Oxenfurt, I believe. Not... Yes.
Oxford always has a beast, it seems.
It does. They're very lovely people, though. It's a beautiful tavern there.
I remember that tavern. I think I got sick in that tavern.
Oh.
At least once. There was a lot of alcohol involved.
Probably. Well, the woman who runs it is very lovely.
So, what then is your other business here in Vizima?
Ilona will turn to the others and say, I believe that was it. Unless there's
Just-
anything else you'd like to do in this.
Like tracking down people and giving their belongings back.
Yes, I'm sure, we could find a job.
A noble cause. Well, and I'm sorry, is it Ariella or Ariella? The Witcher.
I think she froze.
She is frozen. She is judging me. She is frozen
Yes.
and she is judging me.
Yep, it's Ariella.
Ah,
But I think her
Ariella.
connection must have.
Oh no, it's cold and snowy up here
Yeah.
in Ontario.
Let's be honest. I am a frozen panda right now. I normally have like 3 sweatshirts on, and I am frozen.
Oh
I
no.
turned my radiator down so it wouldn't be really loud on the stream.
You can turn it back up. I'm sure people
It's
won't
fine.
mind.
It's fine. I suffer for my art. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we can kind of wait because I have to ask the Witcher if she's looking for work.
She is. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I would assume that Vizima would have one or two contracts. I don't think we actually explored that, Simon. Whether I would have a job for them.
Recently, things that happened in Vizima. Well, there's been talk of a figure prowling the sewers.
No, really?
Yes.
It's always the
As
sewers.
it's-
It never smells good.
There's always something in the sewers.
I mean, I suppose it smells about the same as the rest of Vizima. So
And she's restarting her computer.
Novigrad is pretty gross. Novigrad's gross. Say what you will about Nilfgaard, they're very clean.
That is true.
And Tucson.
It's part of Nilfgaard.
All right. So I see restarting the computer. All right.
Yeah, so it's not gonna take that long, but otherwise it's been sort of quiet for witchers around here. I mean, there are probably jobs outside of Vizima if you were to go looking in the outskirt or in the other villages, farther away from the city. But the city itself both has the Knights of the Eternal Fire to help fend off monsters if there ever needs to. And the fact that if there are any monsters hiding in Vizima, they're hiding quite well. So they're going to be harder to track or harder to even notice that they exist until they make a mistake. However, what can I say? More than that, there might be people with various hexes or curses that could seek someone to get rid of them. That's something that might happen a bit more often in cities, especially because you have all of these people that are, gathered together. It's easy to have tempers, flare, but otherwise, that's about it.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I think the three of you should probably find a way to see the lovely sights of Vizima. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm sure you'll find them.
Yes, has the city changed much in 50 years?
The city hasn't changed in a very long time. Unfortunately, our king has other things that he'd rather do with the treasury than, domestic affairs. Well, he has lots of domestic affairs. But other than that.
Yes, well.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed the wine, and thank you for bringing my book.
Yes.
Have I scared your Nilfgaardian friend? He doesn't speak much, or is this normal?
I don't know. Kahir, is everything all right?
It's best to only say something when you have something good to say.
Oh, yes. Of course. I thought we had been over this. We had gotten over this, Kahir.
I knew, well, I have a friend that knew a Kahir once. He was a very noble Nilfgaardian. You seem to be carrying on the name well, at least.
I try and do what I can.
Kahir is the best Nilfgaard has to offer.
I wouldn't go that far, Ilona.
I would, and I've lived much longer than you and met many more Nilfgaardians.
I've met enough, I think. Well, I think perhaps, I think I need to go take my book upstairs and study, but I'm sure you guys can... But guys, really, Kelly? Really? Really, guys? Yeah.
Tris gets real familiar with us.
Yeah. we know what you meant. It's all right.
I'm sure you can, I'm sure you can see yourselves out.
Yes, thank you very much. It was really quite lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Mind you, don't touch the figurines. They get tetchy. And then she will walk upstairs.
Kahir stands and says, I would heed you to take what we have said very seriously. I fear there's something going on that may surprise us all.
It would be nice to be surprised at this point. I so very rarely am. And she will continue to go upstairs.
So they'll leave the palace, I guess.
Or at least try to.
Oh.
Because as you're about to leave Triss's estate, you see through the windows. The one tiny glass window next to the door. Ravens. Sitting on the parapets of the castle.
Are
on the
they my
turrets.
one-eyed friends?
They are very big for ravens. They rival the size of some of the gargoyles. They're not looking in your direction, but they seem to have the entire courtyard covered. Wherever you look, there's one. They've placed themselves strategically.
Is there a guard nearby?
Are there guards inside your estate, Triss?
I generally don't need them.
Okay, so then there wouldn't be any for... You'd have to walk through the courtyard.
All right,
quite
that's
a bit.
fine. I will, in that case, look around, seeing that I am alone and that nobody will try to detain me. Try to shoot one of these lovely ravens.
All right. You also notice as you ready your bow, open the door and shoot, you've counted them. There are only 7 of them.
All right, so am I rolling archery then?
Yes, please.
The other one's probably above us.
Oh,
You
yes.
look above you and there's none.
Oh, right, God, okay. No extra actions.
Yeah, no.
What's my range? Is it long range?
It's long range.
Okay.
They are at long range.
Target location random. I mean, please don't make me roll location for a bird.
No, it's okay. You shoot at them and let me see if they actually dodge out of the way. Yep.
Oh, damn.
With preternatural reflexes or warning or what have you, the bird just nudges to a side. Just
Well, I'm
a
gonna-
few inches.
I'm
And
gonna do it again.
your arrow misses. You can do so again, yeah, if you want.
Oh dear.
Because elves.
Yeah, elves can fire twice.
Well, now we are all messed up, but at least Jillian's back.
Yay.
Well, you're sort of messed up.
Who am I now?
Oh,
I'm
you
s-
were Ariella for a second, but
Oh, that's fun.
Ariella is
I
back in her
miss-
place.
Idric. I'm sad. Oh, that is worse. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll anyway, but
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I mean, it's base 15, so, like, I just miss.
Yeah, they could have fumbled, but again, with this like supernatural awareness, the bird just flaps its wings, flies up a few feet, the arrow passes, falls back down, but then it turns to you.
Hello, where's your friend? You're missing one.
The bird cocks its head. Its one eye centered in the middle of its forehead.
Not talkative today.
And then you hear a voice coming from, you know, the echoing voices from inside your head, but there seems to be a
Yeah.
direction. One of them says, "She was to be alone. She is not alone. The plan has changed." And then all 7 ravens depart. Fly away in different directions.
Kahir yells like he's scaring them away.
I'm sorry, my internet was being a poop.
It's okay.
There were some. Our bird friends came back.
God damn it! I wanted to ard them because I was mad.
They were too far away to ard. Very much too far away. But Triss, as you go upstairs to your room, you notice through your through your inherent magical training, is the word I was looking for, someone's casting a spell around you, somewhere close. It lasts for about 4 seconds. And then it ends. The three of them have told you that they weren't, they used to have a mage with them, but he's not there anymore. Aside from Priscilla, you should be the only other one.
Can I detect any kind of location, direction?
Yep, make a magical training check. So on your sheet...
Magical training! I've never rolled this.
That's okay. So you click, you go into your profession skills, and you click roll next to magical training. It's probably roll a ginormous number.
Magical training. Where is magical training?
So profession skills.
Profession skills.
Yeah, the first one in gray. Oh, wait, I forgot to put the stat for it. Okay, you should be able to do it now.
Okay.
With the proper bonuses. You just click roll skill. The big gray box.
Additional mods, no?
Nothing.
What? That was a...
That was
No!
20 is the lowest you can roll. But you rolled a 1.
Here's how this goes.
Huh?
In D&D, I can't roll nat 20s to save my life.
The curse has moved forward.
It has... Brian Foster's pie curse has moved to my dice.
Also known as the Whelp-Eaten Dice Curse as well. For those of you who do not get the first campaign.
I quit.
Because of this...
I quit!
Because of this fumble, I'm gonna tell you this. It came from somewhere in the courtyard.
Okay.
But somewhere in the courtyard as in from outside, not within the castle or anything. So you know it to not be Priscilla. Yes, Ariel.
Would my medallion sense the magic from the spell, or would it...
The source of the spell was too far away for the medallion. Oh no, wait, the medallion goes to like 30 meters or something, right?
I think so? I do not know.
You know what? Yeah, it vibrated a bit. Real quick, just before you heard the voice in your head, saying that she was to be alone.
Wait, she was to be alone. No.
So right before the sentence is uttered, that's when your medallion vibrates for just a split second. It's 20 meters, so yeah, I'll say it's within range. It
Okay.
shook a bit, and then it stopped.
Oh.
Yellow Knight.
I will secure... First thing that Triss would do is secure the book back up in her library. I'm not going to be carrying that around with me. I think that would be a very bad idea. And I will make sure to, enact whichever magical wards I've got on my library. I'm sure I've got those.
Yes, you do, and which is even more surprising that someone managed to steal the book without setting off any of the traps.
All right, and then I will head downstairs and open my door and step out into the courtyard to see if I can determine more closely where this came from.
And here you see Ilona firing arrows. Or she's just done firing arrows. Probably putting her bow back across her back. But yeah. She was apparently firing at something.
I assume that your friends were back.
Yes, I believe they want to kill you. They said something about she was meant to be alone. The plans have changed. I do believe they are after your book since they have the other one. I trust you can take care of yourself, but...
Well, had you not been here today, then... Priscilla would have been taking an unscheduled trip to go see Ada, which would have left me alone.
She did seem quite nervous when I brought up the stolen book.
I think it's time to have a little chat with Priscilla. She should be with the princess. And she will just start striding towards the palace.
Well, good luck with that.
Oh, you're coming with me.
Oh.
That was over her shoulder.
I was already starting to follow her because I knew, like, yeah, I'm going with her because these ravens are creepy.
And you just kind of hear Triss laugh to herself when Ariella follows her immediately. And she goes, I have always had a way with witches. They do like to follow me.
Kahir, you were going to say before you were following?
Do you think we should concern ourselves with this?
I don't, but I think we are being forced to concern ourselves with this currently.
Coming!
All right. Kahir grits his teeth a bit, trots forward.
So yeah, we're off on the road to Vizima.
So you head out of the courtyard into the castle.
Yay!
Up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs. A lot of people bow at your passing, Triss, and they just Lady Marigold, Lady Marigold, Lady Marigold. And then they just stare awkwardly at your entourage.
Awkwardly? That's not usually the stares I get.
Smile and nod, smile and nod,
Yeah.
smile
I'm
and
just gonna keep going. I don't even look at their faces.
It's you. Well, except for Alona, the rest of you don't really look like the type of people that would, hang out around Triss Marigold. Not recently, anyway. But you get to Ada's room. The door is closed and locked.
That's...
You're muted.
Can I try to magic the lock open? Is
Yeah.
my magic like a sonic screwdriver? It doesn't work on wood.
Everything's dead bolted.
When before, like, if she's trying to open the door with her magic, like, if I see that, I'll be like, are you sure?
Perhaps we should knock.
Actually, Triss doesn't have any magic to open doors. It is one of her few weaknesses.
A sonic screwdriver.
Yeah. Well, you could try to burn it down, but I figure that might not be the most socially appropriate. Yeah.
Can we, like, I don't know, maybe listen at the door, see what's going on?
You can certainly try.
All right.
The lock is big enough that someone could put their eyes up to it and peep in.
Access.
Huh?
I don't want to peek, because if the door is locked and closed, in Alona's mind, like, stuff might be going down. She doesn't want to see that. But I just want to hear, like, if they're talking, if it's quiet, if there's a fight.
All right. Make an awareness check. I don't even know why I'm asking you guys to roll anyway. So here's the thing.
I'm actually not very good at awareness, so...
Okay, here's the thing, Kelly. In this game, DCs go from 5 to probably 25, 30 at most. Regardless of the DC I put, everyone succeeds all the time. For everything. It's
Look,
just...
that's not your fault. It's the fault of,
you being overpowered.
No, I mean, I would say that's a design flaw if you're, like, everything is minimum, like, base 12.
So what I'm hearing in this conversation as a neutral party is that Simon needs to up all the challenge ratings by 20.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Although I do like just being able to do whatever I want all the time. It could be more interesting to fail sometimes.
I mean, except for opposed checks, we've seen it during the duel anyway. Sometimes your luck does run out.
Yeah.
You listen in at the door and you hear the following. One voice says, I don't think I should. It's all said with sort of happiness or joy or laughter, giggling behind it. The other voice replies, well, I mean, you just need to take it off. It's not like it was impossible. I know, but maybe I shouldn't.
Don't.
But you are
That's
so...
awful.
The other voice says, but you're so... I'm sure you're beautiful without it.
Don't. Oh, Simon, this is.
That's what you hear.
And
It doesn't-
you
I
guys
don't-
know
I
what
don't
I'm
think-
talking About. Oh, Simon, you're awful. Would Triss have heard this too, or would it have just been the?
It would
bard?
be Alona, unless she relays the information.
She's going to relay the information.
What? No, I'm going to I'm going to say, it sounds like they're discussing the removing of clothing.
Triss will definitely get extremely close to Alona and say, "Did they specifically say clothing?"
I don't know. There was a lot of like, oh, I shouldn't take it off. Oh, you will look lovely without it, and you know.
Triss will turn around and burn the door down.
I'm not gonna ask you to roll.
Now Kahira is scared.
The door burst. So you've seen... That's true. You've seen Idric cast Anye before. You know, that tiny ball
Yeah.
of fire, and he throws it, and... Okay.
Oh, I forgot to pick it up. The crafting muse actually made me one that I hold in my hand.
Oh no!
And I think the cat ate it.
What? All of it?
He played with it.
Oh no.
I thought it was like plastic.
No,
Or
it's
close to-
like cotton.
Oh, okay. It's like a woven crocheted
Yeah.
ball. Yeah, her Anye
Oh,
is
no.
4 times bigger.
I would assume Triss would be able to control it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So she's not going to, put shrapnel through people's faces on the other side of the door, but
No,
No,
you
he-
basically just turn the door to...
To ash.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, Arya is just gonna put the thought in: are all mages solutions to everything just to burn everything?
So far, 2 out of 2 mages.
In my experience, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
door
find that a
handle...
great many things can be solved by burning them.
The door
Well, it's
handle falls on the floor. Clangs and clatters.
Triss
And-
will step through.
The 2 girls are gasping. They look at you. But we're gonna take a break.
Simon,
Hi, welcome to my game, Kelly.
I know what you're doing, Simon.
Hey, for everybody else who don't know what I'm doing, we'll see you in a few minutes. I will take... And we're back. So, we left on a semi-cliffhanger? Let's call it that. I'm going to change the music to something called Somber. I don't know why I would do that.
Because you're trying to kill us.
All the time.
Dun dun dun.
So, Triss Marigold entered Ada's room, and on her bed are sitting 2 figures, Ada and Priscilla. They're, within arm's reach of one another, and Ada has both her hands on her amulet, and she is looking surprised, scared, and guilty at you. Her face rapidly turning to red, and Priscilla just yelps and gets up and tries to straighten her skirt.
So the first thing Triss would do, she still has Enya up in her hand, and she's just going to kind of look at Priscilla like, oh now you screwed up. And then she will snuff it out and go and kneel by Ada and kind of take Ada's hands off her necklace and hold her hands. Ada, you know you're not supposed to do that, right?
I just wanted to see what would happen.
Well, the problem is, if you take that off, bad things will happen, but you won't remember them. But you will do bad things to other people.
But
You don't want to do that, do you?
But Priscilla says that I can't do bad thing. I'm a sweet princess.
Priscilla says a lot of things. But how long have you known me, Ada? Long time, yeah?
A very long time.
Have I ever told you something that wasn't true?
You told me the castle kitchens once ran out of dessert, and that wasn't true.
Maybe I wanted the dessert. That wasn't very nice of me. But for something really big, have I ever lied to you?
Does that mean that if I take it off, I'm gonna eat all the dessert?
In a manner of speaking. So,
And you see her hold loosens.
can I check the necklace to make sure the chain hasn't been damaged or anything like that?
Yes. You want to check it physically or magically?
I would like to say both if I'm given that option.
Sure. But what I'll do is, so make an awareness. Nah, awareness might not be the good thing. If you want to do it physically first, just to inspect the integrity of the chain, I would go with crafting.
Crafting.
Yep.
I assume it's the one that says craw.
Craw is the stat, but there's actually a skill
Yeah.
called crafting,
There's a skill.
which
like,
goes with
profession
crafting. Yeah.
skills? Is it profession skills?
It's a no. It's an actual regular skill. So under your skills and modifier, the first tab, yeah. If
Sorry,
you go down.
chat, I'm still getting used to this character sheet.
Oh, chat is used to all of us being lost on the sheets. It's
Yep, it's
very
it's
detailed.
normal. It's very normal.
Okay, so crafting?
Yeah.
Are you sure you finished this character sheet?
Yes, she has a 0 in crafting or something like that.
She has a 0 in a lot of things.
Well, yes, because Triss Marigold has never smithed a chain before. Doesn't mean that the DC is going to be super high. Well,
Watch, I'll roll it
that I
for
know.
that.
The sheet was made by Talsorian.
Okay,
so
maybe
if you want to get into an argument, you can ask Lisa Ponsmith. But yeah, it's a crafting check.
Yes, get out of the bedroom. There you go. 11.
Yeah, that's enough. I mean, the chain itself is fine. A bit tarnished where it normally hangs around her neck. So like in the back of the neck. But none of the males have been open, pried, loosened. Seems to have retained. If not its magic, at least its structural integrity.
Okay. And as far as magic, while I'm checking it physically, I would want to check it magically.
Alright, you have the diagnose spell that you can look at on your sheet. It'll tell you things. I think you only need to lower your stamina by a... you have to click on the red arrow to display like the description. But I'm going to ask the 3 other friends here to make an awareness check during that time, as Triss is absorbed into looking at...
The red arrow doesn't actually open anything for me, unless I'm crazy.
That's weird.
I rolled
Okay.
a 20.
That's okay. Look, I'll just put it in chat. You can put the spell in chat by clicking the fire button.
Okay, so there you go.
Alright, 17, 20, 21. So all 3 of you are going to see something. And that would be their health hit points, but we're going to use it for the object. And the object is intact. Its magic is somewhat diminished. But that is to be expected over time. The spells need to be refreshed every so often to make sure that, you know, because there are countless people that would love... Huh?
I think that's one of the things Triss did when she was Foltest's advisor.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who would love nothing else but to dispel the magic from the amulet and just have Ada run rampant in the castle. But while Triss is looking at this amulet and concentrating her magic on it, the three of you notice Priscilla inching away from the bed, trying to sneak your way out of the room by another door.
I don't think that's a very good idea, dear.
The yelp shakes Triss even out of her concentration.
Triss turns around and stands up, kind of pats Ada's hands one more time, and stands and turns around and advances on Priscilla. I think you and I need to go have a chat. Don't you?
I'm very sorry, Miss Marigold. Very much.
I don't think sorry is going to get you out of it this time.
But... well, maybe this would help? And she gives you a peck on the cheek. And I'm gonna ask you to roll resist magic.
Why would I even let her come near me? That's the question.
She does it fast enough, and actually so fast that all four of you notice her shape blurs.
Can I try
As
to
she
tackle
moves.
Priscilla to the ground when I see
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at... Okay, resist magic. There
Bottom
we
of
go.
your... yeah.
Got it.
Yay!
You're fine. You feel your consciousness cloud, and then you look at who was once Priscilla. From the ground up, you see these hooves, these goat legs,
I'm
upon
going to
which-
tackle this.
yeah, I'm just gonna finish the description, upon which
sorry.
is attached a tanned woman's torso, covered in white markings. The head remained most of the same, if not for a pair of ram horns that grew out of the side of her head. She is, of course, because of the transformation,
succubus.
yes, but also stark naked.
As they do.
And then the Witcher tackles her to the ground. Just wham, bam! And
I'm doing my duty.
That was inelegant. I might suggest Earden next time. And
Miss Marigold, this is not what it looks like, I swear.
I'm going to put my boot on Priscilla's throat.
Well,
Ariella, you would know silver's gonna work a lot better than a boot.
I know.
yeah.
But the gesture is...
The gesture
Yeah,
remains.
I'm gonna take out my silver sword and just keep it close to this succubus's neck.
I stand halfway between them and Ilona and the princess with my hand on the hilt of my sword.
Alright.
I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna watch this happen.
Just get out a bag of popcorn, just like, this is taking an interesting turn.
I think she's just gonna be like, oh, of course. Of course there's a monster.
So I'm going to, when I see that Ariella is putting her silver sword up, I will shift my boots slightly and kneel down next to Priscilla's head.
Priscilla says, please, mistress, I can explain. It had to be done. I need help.
You need help. And so, for help, instead of coming to me, you decided to try and turn the princess back into a Striga.
I couldn't involve anyone. At least I knew that Ada would do what I asked of her. She can't be controlled without her amulet. It's the only way. I have to kill Foltest before he kills me.
Excuse me. To explain quickly, the Witcher's getting itchy.
And if you want, we're gonna get into a bit of crunch, as
What
this
does
is
that mean?
gonna turn into a thing that Kelly, you'll be introduced to that. In The Witcher, there are two types of combat. There's one with weapons, and there's one with words.
Mm.
And we're gonna do a small role play combat, verbal joust, as it
I'm
were,
gonna help.
to try to get her to speak plainly
Yes.
and honestly to you.
Can I port Zone of Truth over from my bar?
It doesn't
I'm joking.
exist.
It's a joke.
That's a shame,
joke.
isn't it? Oh, I know it's a joke, but it's also something that would make your life so much easier in this instance.
It would make
Um,
my life in general so much easier.
So,
Okay.
just so you know, in a verbal combat, you use your social skills to deal empathetic damage to someone.
Oh, I know all about this. This I can do.
All right,
So-
Trish is gonna be good cop. I'll be bad cop.
Wait a minute. I'm never bad cop. I want to be bad cop.
But I was a bad cop because I got.
It's okay. I can be good cop.
I
Y'all
want to
can
know.
be whatever kind of cop you want.
I want to know though who joins the quote unquote fray for this.
Me, because I got the sword.
Oh, come on, Kahir. I bet you can. I think you should. Come on, Steven.
I think Kahir is confused by this whole this whole thing, and I really think he's like more worried about the princess. Like his knightly duty like stands up like, oh, if there's a monster here, I should protect the princess. But then he's like totally confused because that what they were talking about, and is the princess a monster? And he's just
Oh.
kind of like,
Yes, I forgot to describe Ada. She is, I think she's around 18 by the time this game takes place. Yet she speaks and has the demeanor of a 6 years old. Her hair is stark white
I was gonna say if you're going by what the books are and not the game.
and not the game. Her hair is white, and while she physically looks like an adult, right now she is as scared as a child would be of what's going on. And she doesn't seem to understand the reality of what's happening around her.
yeah, and I think Kahir notices that and kind of pays more attention to her than the interrogation.
All right.
I think like the sorceress, the witcher, and the bard probably have that taken.
Under control.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that.
Literally.
So will plus intel. Okay, I got her empathy here. So I'll let you three begin. She's just going to try to defend herself. Basically, her goal here is to get you to help her by telling you as little as she can.
And our goal is to make her tell us everything.
Everything.
So the way we'll work it is we'll roll the attack roll, and then we'll role play out what that is. So if you choose to go with like persuasion, for example, well then we'll do like a few sentences of trying to persuade her, and then we'll move on to the next person and all that. So who wants to go first?
I feel like maybe Trish should go first since this is.
Yeah, I think Trish should go first.
Triss would like to go first, but Triss saw something on her character sheet that she's trying to find.
Oh, what is it?
Uh-oh.
It's I get a bonus to
Charisma.
persuasion if I'm wearing makeup, and I can assure you I'm wearing makeup.
So then your seduction and your charisma is 2 points higher.
Does that add in automatically? Or
It's not added on the sheet, so you have to add it in like other modifiers. When you roll and they ask you for modifiers,
Okay.
you just add a 2.
All right. All right. So, the first question I'm going to ask, we're just going to, we're nice and close with this succubus. I'm sure she's not very comfortable at this point.
No, because
She's lying on the ground. Yeah, there's a sword to her throat, and
Almost to her throat. I'm not touching the silver yet to her.
I mean, she knows what happens when Triss gets angry.
People explode. So I will reach down and take her face, like you do. And I'll just kind of turn it towards me. Why does Foltest want to kill you?
It's complicated. But I swear I have good reasons.
That's not an answer.
I have to save everyone. I put everyone in danger. Please, you have to trust me.
I'm sure there's probably a way we can do that without killing the king. So how about you tell me what is going on?
And which skill would you use for this?
I would use
Persuasion.
grooming and style. No, I would not use grooming and style.
You dress like crap.
No. I would assume that this would probably be a persuasion, because I'm certainly not trying to seduce her.
Then go right ahead.
Definitely.
Kelly, there is the attacks there. You can seduce, persuade, appeal, that uses your leadership trait,
Okay.
Or befriend.
that uses your charisma, or you can deceive, ridicule, or intimidate.
Oh.
It's true, I forgot to name them all.
I'm looking for deceive, ridicule, and intimidate.
Ridicule would be social etiquette,
Yeah.
which you have. Intimidate would be intimidation, which you do not have.
I'm looking for social etiquette. I don't see social etiquette.
It's under.
Social
No, that's
etiquette
okay.
is an intelligence skill.
Yep,
Yeah,
you have 9
intelligence
points in it.
Yep.
Where
there you go.
is it? There you are. That's higher than persuasion. Okay. And then I get +2.
Not for social
No.
etiquette because of the makeup. Yeah.
Correct. I'm very cranky right now. I thought I was going to be doing so well. What was the thing with leadership?
Leadership is to appeal to someone's. So it makes the defender thinks that you probably have the right idea. That you're in the right, they're in the wrong, and you're trying to appeal to their sense
Okay.
of X,
So
Y, Z.
I will use appeal then, because that's a charisma thing, right? Yes,
Yeah, that
no?
would be based on leadership, so that's charisma.
All right.
Well-
You've
was
got
that?
8 points in leadership.
Yeah, and I'm adding 2.
No.
Oh no, the 2 is for the skill called charisma.
Oh, called charisma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You should have told me that.
I'm sorry.
And now you made me look stupid in front of
No, it's okay. There's
No,
like
it's
1,000 skills because because most games charisma is like empathy.
A stat, yeah.
Empathy would be weird.
I'm still going to make her think I'm right and she's wrong.
Go right ahead. And if you succeed, so you roll your leadership. She's trying to. I'll count that as changing the subject. So she'll roll her persuasion. The persuasion of a succubus. Whoa. Against a 20. Oh, I rolled a 16. So can you roll just a single d10 for your d10 plus your empathy stat? So I can tell you right now what
Empathy is...
empathy is an 8. Yeah. So a d10 plus 8, that's the damage you deal to her. In a way. And then I'll role play her buckling.
1d10 plus 8. 1d10 plus 8.
All right.
I
Yeah, I feel like
Oh my kitten! Sorry.
She wait, math. 25, 70. Okay, good. Whew. I was off by 2. And by the way, for Ariella and Ilona, you will get to add a +1 to your damage on your turn because of the appeal. So she says, please, Mistress Marigold, Foltest is not what he seems. Haven't you noticed? It's more dangerous than you think. The situation is dire, and I fear it's all because of me.
So is that my turn?
That would be your turn, yeah. What
Okay.
you said, what she said, and then we'll see with Alona. And because this is what bards and mages and merchants and priests are good at. in The
I'm
Witcher.
horrible at this, but I want to participate anyway.
I haven't known a single Witcher who could talk their way out of something. So
I mean, you have a good intimidate skill.
Yeah.
they're really
Well,
good into
Geralt has the max empathy that a Witcher can have.
yeah. Lambert doesn't because he's a prick.
Alright, I'm gonna go next.
All right. What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna intimidate her.
What do you say?
I'm just gonna bring my silver sword a little closer to her, and I'm just gonna say, from what I can tell from how you said that you have to kill the king before he kills you, it sounds like someone told you about that. Does it have anything to do with what we said about the book when we were at this estate? I suggest you say it. I can do a lot worse than what I can do now.
All right. Make. I think she's gonna try to disengage from all that. Yeah, and make an intimidation roll
Mm-hmm. Yep.
against my. Whoa! That's a DC. Yeah. No. Wait.
Do I have to add an additional +1 to this because?
I just forgot to add her stat to it, so that would be a DC 19.
All right, so I
So-
just add a with additional bots, just add a 1.
No, that would be for your D10 of damage later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So let's see if she is intimidated.
Damn it!
Oh, wow.
She looks at you and says.
1 and 8.
She looks at you and says, "You don't scare me.
Oh.
They scare me a lot more than you ever will, Witcher."
I'm gonna rebuttal by putting this right on her neck.
Unfortunately,
Damn it!
she disengaged. So unless you literally physically stab her, you are out of the verbal combat.
I want to nick her. To
If
show
you
that
nick her, yeah, but if you nick her, it stops the verbal combat.
Fine. I'm mad now. This is why I can't do verbal combat, because these things happen.
I mean, I'm glad you tried.
Yeah, I mean, it could have worked. It's just fumble.
Yep.
But she has a reason to fear you less than fear what's waiting for her. Alona.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like shoulder Ariella out of the way and say like, Ariella, darling, there's no need for bloodshed yet. Dear, please, we want to help you, but we need to understand what's going on. And for that, you need to tell us. I would like to use befriend. Yeah.
All right, you're trying to make a friend out of
Yeah, I am.
the succubus.
Look, I'm not putting seduction off the table yet, but I don't want to start with it.
Then make a charisma check.
All right, and I am also wearing makeup.
Everyone's made up. She will reply, "I can't trust anyone with this. I have to do this by myself." And she's trying to ignore you. And
just-
fails at ignoring you.
I'm impossible to ignore. I'm too beautiful.
So D6 plus empathy plus 1. And I
Plus
think,
1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus 1 because Triss helped you
Oh.
with the
Yes.
appeal.
The appeal. Okay.
She already feels like she should be on your side. But she has
So-
trouble.
D6.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Oh, it's a D... Befriend, yeah, befriend is a d6 plus your empathy. So what's your empathy?
Plus my empathy is a 12, plus 1 is a 13.
All right. She replies, well, you were always good to me, Miss Marigold, and your friends here, well, for some anyway, do make a good point. Maybe the Witcher can help. After all, Foltest is a monster. He was replaced.
When?
A while ago, the people I was with, they organized for... They sowed paranoia and discord amongst the kings, and they're trying to do something to the north. I don't know all the details. We were given very specific assignments, and I was to ensure that Foltest would leave and meet with the other kings of the north in secret. And then he would be replaced by an agent, an impersonator of our circle. I didn't want to go through with it. I'm sorry. I might have doomed all of Temeria by replacing Foltest with a fraud.
What sort of fraud? Is it a Doppler? What is it?
I don't know. I wasn't privy to that information. If you know of someone who might have followed all the comings and goings of the king, maybe they could tell you, but I couldn't approach them for fear of making myself discovered. I'm not... Well, look at me. It's very hard to keep the human guys up at all times, and to go through your wards and your spells, that's even harder. You're a very good magician.
Side note to Simon, was there ever actually a Priscilla, or is this always the Priscilla?
That's always been Priscilla.
Okay. So I was just wondering if there was another replacement to deal with. Right. Who are you working for?
Can I get back up?
Does it have anything to do with the symbol of 8 eyes?
She looks at you with imploring eyes. She's like, I'd like to put something on.
I've never known a succubus to be modest.
There's a child in the room.
Let the girl stand up, honestly.
I'll let her stand up, but I'm keeping a glaring eye on her.
She takes a small cape from... Actually, no, she takes a skirt, a long, underskirt that Ada has in her closet, and she just covers her goat legs with it. And says, oh, that's better.
I will observe the rest of her nakedness from the waist up and be like, oh, that's what you were concerned about.
Well, it is disconcerting, as you humans put it. Where were we? Yes, the
Who are
circle.
you working for? Yes.
The circle of 8. Yes, I'm afraid they are behind it.
Are you the 8th one? There were only 7 before.
You could say that I was part of the inner circle, yes.
And
So that
But-
time you threatened me.
Wait. No, wait. There were 7. When?
in the courtyard earlier.
Oh, you have to protect me. They know I'm trying to run away. They know I'm a defector. They know I've been talking to you. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna do things to me worse than kill me. Please, you can't let them do that. You can't let her do that to me.
Let her? Who's her?
And she just turns to Triss.
Who's her?
The owner of the book. Baba Yaga.
Triss does not look happy. That's who you're working for.
It's a touch more complicated than that. She's not physically in the world, but that was the goal of the circle, yes. We've been... And you see she straightens up when she says the next sentence. Like, there's still a tinge of pride behind her words. It says, we've been hounded and hunted down by them, and she motions to Ariella with her chin, by them for too long. We are not all monsters, and we deserve respect, and we deserve to have a place in this world without having to prey on human. We're not going to be sold as trophies by the Witchers, or kidnapped and dissected by mages and sorceresses for their experiments. We needed to take a stand, and that's what the circle stands for. And Baba Yaga promised a world where creatures like me could live free from the persecution of everyone else.
And so you're killing kings.
In order to change the laws, we have to change those who make them. We know that we can't try to appeal to them. It'll never work. They barely listen to their advisors. She looks at Triss with, like... She shrugs a bit and nods her head as she looks your way. And says... replacing them, I think, was the first step. There are many, many steps to resurrecting Baba Yaga. I was only privy to what I had to do in Temeria. I know a few things, but they're gonna kill me. And I can't tell you everything, because then you'll kill me.
You do realize that for most people, they look on the Witchers the same as they look at you. Right?
Well, we don't tend to spend a lot of time socializing with Witchers.
And I've had my fair share of monsters that were different, and I've read stories of some that were more kinder than others.
Exactly. But then what happens when a crowd of peasants find us out? It's...
Pitchforks happen.
yeah.
When she says pitchforks, Kahir has a flashback to what happened in Oxenford.
So, have you been working with the Scoia'tael then? To move the books around?
The Scoia'tael aren't really a part of Baba Yaga's plan, but we do share a common goal, if you will. I doubt some members of the circles think that there will be a place for them in the new world, but I sense that something is wrong. I don't think Baba Yaga would... She would like to rule everything. I've peeked in your book, Miss Marigold, and she is not what the circle makes her to be.
Powerful people very rarely are.
Yeah.
A question, Outgame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming we beat her in the verbal combat because she's just telling us everything.
Oh yeah, you did.
So that
she is your friend.
Mechanically, she's my friend.
Yep.
Because I need to make notes of that.
And mechanically, she agrees with Triss.
Okay.
Also, like, I'm just gonna... all this, like, thinking about the north, it's making me think of that one letter that we saw at that Nilfgaardian base near that village. I forget the name of it. it's making me think of what they said, the North will burn.
Oh, the ultimatum that Emir Varhamrace sent to the North. Yeah, that if Foltest doesn't move his army, the North will burn.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking when the Priscilla is saying about the North. The North will burn.
We can't allow Baba Yaga to be resurrected. This is not something that we can have happen. You've done the right thing by telling us. It's the only way we can protect you. I can speak to the lodge. Perhaps because you've cooperated, they'd be willing to overlook your past indiscretions and protect you.
The 8 eyes in a circle aren't just there for the looks, Miss Marigold. I don't know who to trust. The circle has eyes literally everywhere. They might have infiltrated the lodge for all I know.
I know a few of my fellow sorceresses well enough to know if they had been changed.
Is Foltest dead?
That's my next question.
There's a cat that wants in the room.
Yes.
She says, "I don't know for Foltest. I will go with your judgment, Miss Marigold, but I was just to ensure that Foltest left for that secret meeting with the other kings."
Where was the meeting?
In Tredagor, in Redania.
Tredagor.
Capital of Redania. The meeting of kings was on the 12th of September. I'm using our real world month names because it's easier.
I have a question. Outgame. Is this before or after we found our dear friend King Hensel?
I have the timeline. Right now we are on October 6th.
Yeah.
You found King Henselt on September 29th.
Excellent.
So 2 weeks and a couple days after the secret meeting of kings. I don't know why I'm using quotes, but you guys have never heard of the secret meeting of kings before anyway.
I'm going to look at how's Ada doing?
She is now clutching
What are you doing?
Kahir's breastplate, standing in back of him, and she's peeking out and looking at the situation. She seems to be in awe of the succubus.
Are you all right, dear?
She's naked.
She is, yes.
Papa also has naked people in his room sometimes.
I imagine
I feel
so.
like I missed something.
She's asking Ada what's happening. If she's okay.
I asked if Ada was all right, and Ada looked at Priscilla and said she's naked. And I said yes, and then she made that connection about her father and other naked people.
Maybe. We need to have a chat with your nursemaid, because I don't think you need to be knowing that your dada has naked ladies in his room.
Yes.
But
perhaps. Oh, sorry.
But I remember, the last time I was with, and she looks in Ariella's way. She says, "I remember, I woke up naked next to a witcher once. He had white hair, and he was bleeding all over."
Yes, well, that was different.
Is it what happens when I get naked? 'Cause I don't want to get naked anymore.
No. It's what happens when you take your necklace off.
And she just puts both her hands on it, and she's like, "I don't want to take it off."
We also don't want you to take it off. And I can assure you, if that Witcher was here, he definitely would not want you to take it off.
Sometimes I dream of him at night.
Oh, good. We're probably going to need to have a talk about that. I can probably help you.
Perhaps, Miss Marigold, or Lady Marigold.
Got what you wanted, Simon.
Perhaps we could have this discussion elsewhere and leave the princess to recover.
Yes, but unfortunately I don't see the princess's minders anywhere.
Priscilla sent them away. And Priscilla just looks at the kid, looks back at you, and says, well, I have my ways.
I'm sure.
Is Papa gonna die?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
No. And I know this has all been very difficult for you, I know you don't like it when things happen that aren't supposed to happen.
Uh-huh. But Priscilla said I would become a queen.
In due course, you will become a queen.
Huh? When?
It's just going to be a while.
Okay.
You can wait. Once
think
you become a queen, there will be no time to play.
if I become a queen, are you gonna still be around?
Would you like me to be?
Yes.
I will stay.
And because a member of the royal family just said that, it's now official, and you're set for life.
Yeah, Trish is like, I got the gravy train going now. I don't care. Gravy train. Okay. Don't worry, I will stay here, but you don't want to be queen too soon because then you can't play with your dolls and you can't take all your trips out for picnics. All of that would stop.
No, then I want Papa to stay a king.
Yeah, just stay a princess for now. When you're a princess, you get all the good things and the dessert.
Yeah, and she taps on Kihir's breastplate, and she's like, the big knight is gonna protect Papa from the people that want to hurt him?
Yes, he is.
What I'm going to try and do.
You talk
Yes,
funny.
he is. And Triss will glare at Kahir like,
I've been told that once or twice.
So yes, Ada, we are going to go find your nurse so that she can come and maybe, since you've been so awfully good, maybe I'll have her bring you one of those buns that you like with the icing on top. Good?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to stay here, but in order to get it, you have to stay in your room. I know it doesn't have a door right now. I'm sorry about that. There will be another door soon.
Okay.
Okay. So is there any way for me to go out, find a servant, send somebody to get
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay.
I think I would just look to Priscilla and probably advise her to get into her human, try and get into her human form again before the servant comes in and sees a succubus in the room.
Oh, yes, that's right. And she makes a sort of like a wave motion with her hands, and the longer she keeps it up, the shorter the horns grow. It's like they were retracting inside her head, and the hair on her legs smoothens out. She becomes Priscilla, and then, with a snap of her finger, the clothes reappear. So you now know, at least Triss knows, that the clothes have always just been an illusion.
So you've been walking around my house naked this whole time?
Pretty much, but so do you from time to time.
Facts. Can't even fault you. And then I'll just look over at Kahir, who I would assume would be moderately shocked. I'll just be, it gets hot in Vizima.
I don't know. Would
blushes.
Kahir be shocked?
Yeah, he blushes.
So yes, I would assume we would get Ada's nursemaid back.
Yeah.
I would get the bun.
Yeah, this is all going to be taken care of.
Yeah. And I will tell Ada that at some point we're going to have a chat about her dreams, because we're going to have to get rid of those. This is not a good thing for you to be remembering.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least she only remembers
Waking up naked.
waking up. Yeah, the part where she's human in
And
it.
at least he had his clothes on, because that would be bad.
Yes, but you know that over time, you know, she'll
Remember
mature and will probably have other thoughts about
That's
Geralt.
a problem. Okay.
But
I
that's
feel
in
bad
that's in like
because
10 years.
I feel like that would partially be my fault because I'm in the room and I am a witcher.
Well,
Oh,
she
you
hasn't.
remember the swords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she hasn't thought of witchers before. You know, who freaking walks around with 2 swords?
Yeah.
You carry 2 swords on your back. Put them on your side like a normal person.
Nah.
Yeah, and then be utterly unable to go through doors or cut corners.
That's always the thing I think. I'm walking around, the townspeople are talking. I'm like, that is absolutely shit advice. Don't do that.
No, and even wearing them on your back. But anyway,
Yeah, you can't sit.
you can't draw them.
Yeah, I know. It's It's not. Yeah, sorry, Mel Gibson. This don't work. It doesn't work. Anyway,
Right, Kahir?
back to the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I think we would have to reconvene probably at my house.
is what I was going to ask you. Do you go try to, you know, confront Foltest right away, or so you meet up
We would
back
have
at the
to go
estate?
Back at the estate. Can I use my Oh, good lord! The thing with the stuff.
Telecommunicator?
Megascope.
Yeah, megascope. They call it a telecommunicator in the book
My
for some reason.
megascope
Yeah.
to contact, because I know at the very least I know Philippa would be Philippa. You know, I can't trust most of the other ones, and Philippa I can't trust as far as I can throw her, but you know, Philippa is interested in stability and the power of the lodge.
Mhm.
So she doesn't. I'm sure Philippa wouldn't like the idea of another.
Another,
powers.
power coming in.
Yeah. So I would like to megascope to Philippa. Too many P's.
Yeah. She, we'll paraphrase this.
I'm totally going to
For the
tell
sake
her
of
about
time.
the Witcher School, by the way, of the owl with the girls.
That puts her in a good mood, and she says she wanted to visit Kavir again soon. Mm.
And now
I
you
think
have a reason.
she'll make it an extended stay.
Yeah.
Um,
We stand for the school. But.
and then, what information do you give her?
I would let her know that I would basically give her the rundown. My books were stolen. I'd assume I might have already talked to her about that. My books were stolen. These adventurers turned up with them, the ravens, the eyes, and then that, my apprentice was actually a succubus and that she gave us all this information. And that my king is probably a monster. I would assume a Doppler, but could be a couple things.
Well, that is a lot of information. And I need to get the name of. There we go.
Of what?
Well, Philippa will let you know that you're not the only one in that situation.
Were you planning on telling me anytime soon, Philippa?
Well, we're still investigating what happened. But Sheila dropped out of. Can't say dropped out of the radar, but she. Well, we don't know where she is.
Just vanished into thin air.
Sheila?
I've been trying to contact her for a while. She was mentioning, now that you mention having her book back. I think after stealing yours, whoever did that must have tried to go to her. The last time we spoke, she mentioned some strange figures roving around the castle in Kovir, and yeah, it was part of the reason why I was wanting to go there, see what happened to her. I know she's alive, but I don't know what's going on, and I don't like it.
Is Carl's... No, this is after Sodden. Carl's not in Kovir anymore. Yes, something that could take both myself and Sheila de Tanseville by surprise. I think it's something we should consider extremely dangerous and a very high priority. Not to mention, apparently, we've got monsters for kings and not the normal ones.
Care to elaborate?
I already told her.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
The whole test has been
The whole thing.
replayed.
And are you sure? Can you?
I haven't been to see him yet. I'm on my way now.
If you can confirm without a shadow of a doubt that Foltis has been replaced by a Doppler.
Or worse.
Or worse. This isn't...
Doppler at least would be easy. I've got a Witcher here.
Oh, good.
Not
They...
the one I prefer.
Well, we do what we can with what we have.
I'll have to find out where Eskel is anyway.
Well,
I think we could use a few of them right now. As much as it pains me to say it. I'm going to go see Foltis. And then I'll contact you after.
I trust you will keep everything under cover.
As best as possible. I'm just going to have to make sure these three keep their mouths shut.
Are we watching this?
Yeah,
we hearing
are
this
they in the room with you?
conversation?
Yeah, like, are we in the room?
I don't think they would be.
Okay, so Philippa says, who three?
I told you.
Oh, the adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you trust them? An elf guardian? A bard? Bards tend to run their mouths.
They do.
But I can always...
This one at least seems to actually be able to formulate an entire sentence without trying to flatter someone to death.
So she's no dandelion.
No dandelion. There is only one Julian, let's be honest.
And,
We are very grateful for that.
yes. I'll ask Francesca about the elf.
No.
You're not there!
I know.
You just hear a voice coming out of your parlor. No!
That was out of character. Don't ask me. Don't ask anybody.
You're actually the one that gave me the pin that says Metagaming Pigeon says coo, so go coo.
And, well, I'll stop by that owl school. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know for the Nilfgaardian, but if he's a knight and he's escorting the bard around, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. Knights don't tend to think by themselves or for themselves.
I think you and I both know that the vast majority of men seem to not think for themselves.
Yeah, it's a
The Milf Guardian thing is just added on top of it. And
inherent flaw in the entire sex.
true. However, some of us still enjoy it.
Can't live with them, can't have a nice night without them.
Well, did you really just say that, Philippa? Anyway.
I meant for everybody else. I have my ways.
Okay. All right. So I think we need to go see full test. Triss has become latently bardic.
Can maybe like
Yep.
can we chat while she's
Yes.
we're just sitting in Triss Marigold's fancy ass house.
Don't
Yes.
look at the figurines too closely, by the way.
She collects action figures like Idra collected Gwen cards.
Oh, I
Or
see.
through the thing where I freeze everybody that I don't like and stick them on my shelf.
Oh yes, okay.
Don't break them; they're still alive.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the other two and say, so we're doing this, right? Saving the North from all of this.
Well, of course we are. It is obvious, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Triss Marigold is incredibly powerful. We could just leave this to her. And the sorceresses.
I would agree with that, but I just don't think it's the best idea. We have to think of this strategically. As long as we get all the intel we can get on everything that we know now, it will be helpful for everyone.
I mean, there have been plenty of songs written about Triss Marigold. We could just
There
go.
haven't been any written about us.
We could just go find a new. Do not scratch my lease up, Kitty. I need that. We could just go find a new adventure. Something slightly more manageable than potentially 2 dead kings. Also, are we going to tell Triss about this? About Henselt, I mean?
Well, I think if we need her help, I think all of the information would be best.
I suppose. I'm just worried that we will get indicted in this somehow. The death of Henselt, I mean.
Aren't we already more indicted as we are now for knowing about the book and all this information?
As you say that, Triss opens the door and goes, Henselt's dead?
You were talking.
Oh.
You were talking
but
to
I'm not
Philippa.
now.
Yes.
Was this
Alona, like-
information that you were planning on sharing?
While we were in Oxenfurt.
Defeating the infamous beast of Oxenfurt in a huge pile of corpses, we found King Henselt among them.
I'm not sure if it is this group involved. It seemed to be Scoia'tael markings. Which is why I quite frankly didn't care for anybody to know. But if nobody has missed King Henselt, then it's very likely that Henselt himself is a monster.
I see that the brain has engaged. This really would have been important to tell me from the beginning, because I could have told you that no one has missed Henselt. And you said he had Scoia'tael?
It appeared to be, yes.
I think
That
what we can
was-
gain from most of this so far is that appearances are being very deceiving in this matter.
Yes. I don't know. The Scoia'tael got their hands on your book. At the very least, I think this cult is using the poor fools to achieve their ends. And apparently there's no room for elves in Baba Yaga's world either, so...
There's no room for much of anybody in Baba Yaga's world. I think first we need to go see Foltest. I want to see if I can figure out what it is he is.
Would you like me to come with you? It truly is a monster that has replaced His Majesty. Then I should with my training, should be able to see the flaws in a flawless solution.
Is there anything like insight checks in this game?
There's human perception.
Yep, there's a skill called human perception.
Is there a way for you to perceive how good of a witcher she actually is?
I'm very good.
I mean, I'm not gonna ask you to roll, but compared, you can, if you want to compare her to Geralt.
Well, Geralt, Eskel, Vesemir. I know these people.
Yeah. Okay, compared to Geralt, it's nothing, but Geralt is super special.
Yeah, Geralt and Eskel are like up here. Then there's Lambert. Probably Vesemir.
To give you an idea of... Jillian, what's your swordsmanship skill at?
My swordsmanship
So
is...
excited.
Hurry up! It's a 6!
Alright, and what's your reflex?
My reflex is an 11.
Alright, so she is... Assuming that Eskel and Lambert are on par with Letho,
Easily.
she is almost there.
Almost. Not quite.
See, she is half the swordswoman that they are, but has the supernatural reflexes of any witchers. Actually, probably even... Is it? Okay, not higher than Geralt, but almost. You notice in the way she moves and everything. She has her training, despite coming from a school that is
And I saw her
bound in
use
books and all that. Yeah.
I know that she's a little clumsy with it at the moment, but it'll get there. You can come with me. I think maybe you should stand outside the door until I call for you.
Yes, the lovely guards at the front did say that we were not to bother the king.
Well, you're with me now. I bother the king all the time. And
It is what an advisor's job is, to bother the king 24/7.
Yep, but he does not listen. I guess we will go over to the king's hall.
And to the King's Hall you go. Of course, the entire room is filled with courtiers, talking over one another. Foltest is just sitting on his throne, trying to pay attention to one of the many conversations to while away the time. He looks just as bored of everything, has a page next to him holding out a tray with food and beverages. Well, of course, no advisor, no queen next to him either, but the throne, the throne she would use is empty, as always. Ada's throne as well. But yeah, there's some people, but there's no audience at the moment. He's not holding court per se.
I'm just waiting outside for Triss's signal. I was told to stay out in the
Okay.
hall till I was called.
Kahir and Ilona, do you?
He is a monster, the sight of a witcher walking in.
I get him a little
Might trigger a thing.
Might be a bad idea.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stay out in the hall till I hear you call for me.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Minus-
Where are we? Because apparently Kahir just wants to get drunk in Triss Marigold's parlor, so I'm down for that. Like, we have some stuff to work out. We could just get drunk.
If you want to stay at her parlor, and she can just head out with Ariella.
I don't know. What do you want, Kahir? Do you want to?
I want to go see
The king.
Okay, yeah, we'll go see the king.
You would be the Nilfgaardian that got the closest to the king
I know, right?
in recent history.
I mean, I feel
I
like
just told Ilona we were still working on our grand scheme.
it's true. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for Elfkind.
All right. But do you enter the courtroom, or you listen to Triss and you all three of you stay? Mind you, Ilona and Kahir could probably walk in without raising suspicion.
A Nilfgaardian?
He's not displaying
He's not
any.
wearing a banner
Okay.
that says
Yeah.
"I'm from Nilfgaard."
Okay,
I-
so he keeps his mouth shut.
I am wearing a Vicovarian sword, though.
That's
Ye-
fine. I mean, you could get those anywhere, but just keep your mouth shut. Your accent gives you away.
Okay.
You've been very talkative up until now, Kahir. I'm going to need you to be quiet.
I mean, Ilona will go. If she wants to. She'll see the king and all the fancy people, and I mean, she likes that.
When you enter the courtroom, I want to call him the announcer, but you know the person that announces people as they come in.
Herald.
The herald. Thank you. He stops you, Triss. Puts an arm across the way. It almost hits you in the stomach. And
Excuse you.
yeah, he looks rather old with like round spectacles on the tip of his nose. It doesn't look like the typical herald. And he mutters to you, "Who the fuck are these pricks?"
There are pricks that are with me, and that's all you need to know.
Well, I need to know everything. So why don't you tell
They're
me
not
what...
coming in yet.
I've seen them walk around with weapons.
I asked them to come here. I had an item that was missing, and they retrieved it for me.
Without my men knowing about it.
Why would I tell you that I lost anything? I needed
You
people who
wouldn't.
were skilled in magic. Do you think I'm going to ask a common guard?
And he puts his spectacles lower. He's like a common guard.
Your men are common guards. Let's admit it.
They're well trained, I'll have you know.
Can they fight monsters? Exactly. The witch is with me, so's the elf and the quiet one.
Oh, these will be more entertaining than whatever bullshit's been happening all day.
I know, why do you think I stay away from here so much? Foltus doesn't listen, and everyone else talks too much.
You got a point there. Alright, well, make it worth my time.
All right. And then I will walk in. And of course, I will just walk straight through people. I expect them to get out of my way.
They do.
I'm just gonna wait in the hall till I'm called. I'm just gonna stand there and wait.
Well, I would also assume that if the monster used any magic at this close of a distance, your medallion would vibrate.
And right now, the medallion doesn't vibrate.
Yeah, so it's not vibrating right now.
So I will get very up to where I would normally be with Foltest, and of course I will bow. And then I will climb up the stairs because everybody else is probably still talking. Because I'm a normal person. I walk in here all the time.
Yep.
You know? So I will go and I will sit to the chair on his left, where the advisor would normally sit. Good afternoon, Your Majesty.
Triss Marigold.
I've just been to see your daughter.
I trust all is well with Ada.
She is well, but I might want to advise you, Your Majesty, to possibly use a little more discretion when bringing women to your chambers. I had to have a very uncomfortable conversation.
Well, she's not to be up when the sun is down. Isn't that what we talked about?
Yes, and trying to enforce that on an almost teenage girl is nearly impossible. Her pendant is holding. There's no signs of it changing, but I thought perhaps I should speak to you about the fact that maybe bring them in more of a secret way for right now.
Well, I'll add that to Thaller's task list. Thaller's task list.
Yes, exactly. Ah, you're such a colorful gentleman. So, now I will ask you, Simon, what would I be doing to try, in this particular world, to try and sense if the king is not the king?
That would literally be human perception.
Literally be human.
Because you're trying to perceive if he's human.
Okay.
It couldn't be a more literal use of the skill.
And that is under...
Empathy, I think?
Under empathy? Yeah.
Yes, it is under empathy.
Okay.
Ilona is like muttering like snarky comments about the different courtiers to Kahir.
Oh,
I mean, Samaria has pretty crappy fashion, so
Kahir makes sure to go every time.
even if he doesn't understand the joke. All right, so human perception, no whammy. Come on.
Double whammy. Yay!
He's completely human. Good old Foltest.
And that would I be able to tell if there was any illusory magic in place, or would that be a different skill?
You could try your Dispel spell. But since you wouldn't have to roll, since you're just Marigold, you don't even have to utter a word to cast a spell. You can just gesture with your fingers behind your back and the spell goes off.
Jedi mind trick.
And there is no magic affecting the king.
And I know Foltest well enough that, I mean, there would be no way that somebody could just, like, disguise themselves as him without magic, because I know Foltest.
It would be very, very hard. As in, they would have had to roll more than the 20 you rolled on human perception.
Yeah. All right, Your Majesty. I just thought I'd, come in and let you know. Have you spoken to Hensel recently?
No, why should I? Is anything brewing in Kedwin that I should be aware of?
I just think at this time, especially with the activities you've chosen to start at our southern border, it would be wise to be in contact with all the northern kings.
They are not as close to Nilfgaard as we are. What I
But
do
if
on the
they're-
southern border is for our own protection.
What you do on the southern border is... Exactly. Still, if there is a war with Nilfgaard, we need to know we can call them in.
Well, I trust you can send out messages to your friends at the lodge and they can talk to Henselt. And I don't know, maybe we can organize an event around it.
I think...
Look, I'm not on the best of terms with the man. He does his things, I do mine. I have a kingdom to rule.
Yes, you do. Well, Your Majesty. Do let me know if anything changes on the southern border.
Of course.
And I will get up and walk out the door.
Before you leave, he says, Triss,
Hmm.
who is this? And he points to Alona.
Oh, yes, them. I'm taking them back to my house. I have to pay them. I lost something and I sent them to retrieve it. Well, I put up a notice and they're the only ones that took it.
And you let them walk around the castle yard because...
I checked them. They don't concern me.
Do I see the king like eyeing me?
Yep.
How is he eyeing me?
Would
like-
the word lustfully?
God,
Okay.
it's Foltest.
Well, I don't know. It could be suspiciously. It could be appreciatively.
No, in this case, it's downright, he's the king, he gets what he wants type thing.
Yeah, and I think Triss knows
The disgusting, yeah.
Why she's trying to diffuse it.
Yeah, Ilona will. I don't know. Like,
Flip
guess-
off.
no. I don't know. She'll smile. What the hell?
So yes, once I pay them for their work, then they'll just be on their way. Thank you for your time, Your Majesty.
And he just dismisses you with a wave of his hand. Seems just as bored and disinterested of you or any internal affair of his kingdom as he normally is. If he's not playing war, he doesn't seem to be that interested in anything. Kings and their toys.
Mm-hmm. So I will walk out. By the way, where did we leave Priscilla?
I assume she's at your place.
That's what I thought. So I will just walk out and walk between them and expect them to fall in next to me.
Well, unless you have other business, does Ilona or Kahir wants a word with the king?
Kahir actually speaks up to Triss and says, "Is that it? You weren't going to ask him any more questions?"
He's Foltest.
What? How can you
nothing
be sure?
other than Foltest. It's.
Oh.
I checked. I used magic. He's Foltest.
Well, I suppose
Then-
that's good.
We were lied to.
We were lied to. I believe it's time to go speak with Priscilla again. And I will keep walking.
And I'm just like still waiting by the hall.
And then they all come back.
Yep.
And you head out to your estate. And lo and behold, there's Priscilla waiting for you in the parlor.
I'm just gonna take out my soul. Oh wait, I don't know anything. Would I be told as we're walking the update?
I would not have told you.
Okay. Then I'm just like,
Now you're
wait.
gonna find out.
Yay!
So, as I walk in, I call up Enya again in my hand, and I'm just like, "Oh, Priscilla."
She comes around, first sounding, her regular cheery self. Yes, Miss Mary, oh, what's wrong?
I've just been to see Foltest.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? It's Foltest.
No, you must have been deceived. I made sure he left.
It's Foltest. He even tried to bang the elf.
It's a clever disguise, I swear, I made sure he left the castle.
I checked normally. It's Foltest.
I would like to do human perception to see if she believes this.
Go right ahead. If, you mean if Priscilla believes what the story she's telling?
If Priscilla believes what she's saying, yes.
Alright, yeah.
That's an 18.
And yes, she's actually, at the moment, extremely confused. And she keeps saying and repeating that, no, I saw him leave the castle grounds. He must have... Either the rest of the circle failed, in which case that's a good thing, or they've replaced them with someone whose guise is just impossible to pierce through. Have you tried silver? And she looks at Ariella.
I didn't even enter the court. I didn't want to raise suspicion.
He was human.
I swear, Miss Marigold, I'm telling you the truth.
She is.
I would not lie. Not again.
Then if
And
you...
whatever- Go ahead.
My apologies. Then maybe they lied to you to keep up the ruse.
I don't
Would
know.
that be a possibility?
Maybe. I don't know who to trust anymore. Look, if Foltest is who you say he is, and he's the same Foltest, then maybe Temeria is safer for the time being.
I mean, there is another way to find out.
How?
Oh, dear.
I'm just saying.
How?
He was interested in me, yes?
He was definitely interested in you, but do you have any silver stored somewhere where he might come into contact with it?
I'm sure we could procure some silver. Actually, is my hairpin silver?
Yep.
Dragonfly?
The dragonfly is silver.
Yeah. She'll like point to, she has a dragonfly pin in her hair.
that could work.
This is risky. What if he's a vampire?
I would have known if he was a vampire.
Vampires don't walk during the daytime.
Not true.
No,
Do it.
some of them, and she turns to you, Ariella, and she says, "No, I've seen some of them. They do."
Higher vampire would be a very difficult thing to contest, but no, he was no higher vampire.
I might have to catch up on my reading on vampires then. I might. My
Anyway.
It's a little dull at the moment.
Anyway.
What will be your pretense for getting back to the court? I already said I was sending you away.
And I've already proven that I can go anywhere I like.
And how will you keep in contact with me?
I don't know, don't you have some sort of something?
I can watch you, but there are some things I would rather not see.
Oh, I don't plan to. That. Not
Here clears his throat.
Not.
Oh, and Triss will kind of look between the two of them and be like, are they a... Oh, okay.
It's. Look. My theory is that if Foltest is actually Foltest, then I will politely diffuse the situation.
Don't think you'll find that as easy as you think.
If it is not Foltest, and it is in fact one of our friends, then they will want to kill me.
I mean, let's be honest, you're a bard. People probably want to kill you a lot.
I'm not like Dandelion, dear.
Dear. Oh, I think don't get too familiar. Go over there. I can watch the courtroom with the megascope.
I don't plan to be alone with him.
Exactly. That's why I said the courtroom.
Yes. All right. And I will. What do I have? They probably won't let me go in there by myself with my weapons.
No,
but you can leave.
I have
them.
a dagger. I'll leave my fancy sword, and I'll leave my fancy sword and my bow, and I'll just like hide the dagger somewhere.
Yeah. It's easy enough to do. Plus, since you've already passed the gates to the courtyard, like you're not being searched anymore or what have you. You're part of whoever has to come and go, whether they're artisans, maybe courtiers, servants, or what have you.
And the last thing that I'll do is I'll actually take my dragonfly pin out and kind of like palm it so that I don't have to like headbutt
the king. Makes sense. Triss is watching all of this. Do you invite Kahir and Ariella to watch it
yes,
on the
they can
megascope?
come watch the megascope.
I think actually Kahir will ask Ilona if she wants him to come back.
There's no way that Foltest would let you near there with weapon, and I think he wants her by himself.
Well, I didn't mean right up to the throne, but I meant in the general vicinity.
I would feel more comfortable if something happens to have someone on the ground.
I'd love to come.
I can be there very quickly.
Kiki, is it important to you that you come with me?
If it's important to you.
Kiki.
Yes, it's important to me.
Then you'll come with me.
Cool. Then I guess I'm going.
And Triss just looks between the two of them when they're going back and forth like this and just looking moderately annoyed because she's seen this kind of scene play out so many times. She just like wants to grab the action figures and be like, just kiss.
She just looks at us and just gives us just a silent sigh, because she just misses him. She
I
misses
know that
him.
feel.
Yeah, you would have acted the same had Idrik been there. And thus Ilona makes her way back to the courtyard. Actually,
The court.
the court itself. Yeah, the courtroom.
Yeah.
The court itself.
Oof.
The court hall.
Yeah, throne room. Jesus,
Yep.
words.
Oh, and Triss will have, just letting you know, in advance in case needed, she will have her teleport spell ready.
All right, teleport or standing portal.
I think it's standing portal.
Okay,
So
because
it's
teleport
not-
is only yourself. The
Yes,
portal you
standing
can have
portal will
Ariella
take
go with you.
People, yeah, standing portal.
So enters the throne room, which has emptied itself from a few of the courtiers already. But there's still, maybe like 15-ish people in there. The herald from earlier is still there. He looks at you. Walk in. He doesn't announce you. Doesn't seem to be very good at his job either.
I mean, did I witness the whole like?
Yeah,
Back
like
and
out of
forth.
game, Lauren would have recognized who he is.
No, yeah, no.
But
Did Alona witness the whole kind of like back and forth between?
it was mutter, like mutter,
Okay.
mutter. Except the word, the fuck and prick were probably louder than the rest.
Definitely.
As you enter the throne room, you see Foltest, who is just lying like this on his hand, just straighten up a bit
Exactly like his Gwent card.
and look at you as you come in.
I guess I will. I mean, if I can walk up, I guess I'll just walk up.
Oh, if you want to walk, well, not up the stairs, but you can walk up to the pedestal.
Yeah, like I'll go forward. I don't know.
A bow.
I'll bow nicely, like back when I was a knight in Nilfgaard. I'll do my whole fancy lady thing.
Foltest looks at you and says, "What is your name?"
Ilona.
It has a nice ring to it. What do you want from the King of Temeria, Ilona?
Just to pay my respects.
He shifts his weight, get a bit closer to you, but still sitting on his throne. Was that all?
I suspected there was something you might want from me, Your Highness.
Oh. Straight to the point. Well, I will have dinner ready soon. I have rarely hosted an elf before, but I'm not one to judge by the length of your ears.
She tries, she bites back a grimace,
I'm sort of disgusted by me right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying so hard not to make the joke that I want to make based on what you just said. But yeah, he's so slimy.
I feel like Ariella would just feel really tense about this.
I would be honored, Your Majesty.
He looks to the page next to him and says, "Bring her to my private dining room. Oh, and prepare a bath for her. And you are brought to a dining room."
As she leaves, she's kind of she looks at Kahir God.
Yeah, and Triss is sitting there muttering to Ariella, I did tell her.
This is not a good sign, is it?
It's not a good sign. I can get to Foltest Chambers. I can get into Foltest Chambers, but I'll let her see if she can get out.
Ilona won't bathe. It's weird. She's not doing it. She bathed before. Like, she's not.
What, like once?
She's not getting. I mean, I'm assuming they like found a place, like they like freshened up or whatever before they decided to walk into the palace. When they got off the boat,
Probably. I mean, the last time you bathed was probably in the river before you got to the disgusting waters of Vizima.
But yeah, like she's not getting naked in the palace.
Good thing. It takes takes about an hour before Foltest shows up. And the table was already laden with food, various fruits and drinks from all over Temeria and the north, and then is brought to you it's actually like the hind leg of a deer, all like roasted and then cut into pieces by a chef. And Foltest sits down, barely says a word to you, and starts eating. Like this was all, regular Tuesday for him.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the motions. After a few bites, he lifts his head up and says, "You're not hungry?"
No.
Eating gives you more energy. He keeps eating. So what do you, between two mouthfuls, I says, so what do you want, Olona the elf? What do you really want? Out of the king of Temeria. Were you evicted from your home and you're seeking retribution? Is it a debt? Have I imprisoned one of your family members?
He's imprisoned a lot of people's family members.
I doubt it. She's gonna stand up and like with the silver, not the pointy part of the thing, but she's going to like stand up, walk around him, and put her hands like on his shoulders, like near his neck, so that the shoulders touching him. Says, "I suppose you could do quite a good many things for me," and see if the silver
doesn't react at all.
Well, you could maybe let my people have equal rights in your country.
He gets up from his chair in a puff and a huff. He's like, "Is this why you tricked me, wily elf? You
foolish Dwan.
Get out of my castle. I will not be played for a fool by those lesser of lesser standing, I guess. Or, slur.
Oh, so you'll
Awful,
fuck
awful.
us, but you won't give us rights.
Oh, no. And Triss is just by her megascope going, oh, God.
You stumped him for a second.
She's gonna leave.
In, like, all of his anger.
She'll
And
be
the
like,
moment-
"That's my moment.
Yeah, the
Bye."
moment you cross the door, you can just hear him. Guards. And, there weren't any guards nearby because, well, all the guards know what happens when Foltest asks for a woman to go to his private quarters, so they tend to give him some room. So it takes long enough for the guards to come and the shouting to at least
I'll
quiet
leave
down.
as-
That you're out of, you're outside by that time and back into the estate with Triss and Kahir, that you've probably grabbed by the arm.
Yeah.
And so if you want,
I'm proud. I'm so proud of Alana.
I'll turn back into I'll turn back to like I'll get to Triss's estate and I'll say, I thought that would be difficult.
Voltus is not bright.
You said that it would be hard to... Never mind.
I didn't... you are not listening.
He
We're
is...
just lucky that he didn't have his guards there.
He is human.
Oh, Priscilla!
Yes, Mistress Marigold?
Again, I point to you. Voltus is completely human.
Well, then maybe
I
it's...
don't think you actually need my protection.
But where would I go?
Priscilla, dear, who are these other people?
Well, the rest of the circle.
Do you have names? Locations?
I have one location. It's someone we traveled together for a couple of weeks to get here. But they left. Their task, from what I gathered, was more difficult, a tad more difficult than I had to steal a book. They have to hide something.
What is their name?
I don't know. We, well, you must have noticed. We can... And then her mouth stops moving. The medallion vibrates. Triss, you feel
I am
the
immediately
magic.
taking out my silver sword.
And you hear in your minds, your collective minds, we can all talk telepathically with one another and others. We have no name. We are nothing in the service of the circle. We are the will of Baba Yaga, and we work to ensure a return so that we have a place in this world. And that's where we're going to end tonight. Because it's 15 past 11.
Yup.
Sorry!
No,
I
it's
seduced a king!
it's okay. Hey, I hope you guys had fun.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
It was a good time.
I do not want to play a sister fucker anymore.
Ha! I told you, it's gross. Like,
And I'm sure I was still pretty on point for like Canon Foltest. What was it?
Yeah, Canon Foltest is gross. I mean, his Gwent card, like, flavor text is, it's only good and right that a man should love his sister. It's like... gross.
Uh-huh.
But I still play the Northern Realms deck.
Yeah. I play Skellige in the actual Gwent game.
Yeah.
Because they're more fun. Anyway, that being said, let's just, if you don't mind, we'll skip outros except for Kelly. All of your socials are here, if you don't mind, unless you have something very special to plug.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Or you want to... Okay, so let's just go around the table real quick. Go, Lauren.
All right, hi, I'm Lauren. I'm going to plug two things. I run a Discord for people who like to play tabletop games who are on the asexual and aromantic spectrum. So if that is you and you want to get in on that, you should DM me on Twitter and I will pass you over a link. I am also running in February the February Battle Girlfriends Challenge, in which you create a battle girlfriend with a different weapon for every day of the month. So here is the link to that tweet with all the information. Make me some cool battle girlfriends.
And Steven.
Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. I'm Steven. You can find me on Twitter at wolfwizard_. The end.
All right, then. Well, let's go with Kelly, and then we'll end with
Steven
Jillian.
speaks as much as could hear. So yeah, I am Kelly. I am the opera geek. You can actually find me here. I'm trying to make it most Fridays. I am doing my final playthrough so far of Witcher Wild Hunt on Death March, with the added caveat that I do have a song request thing going up. So I will blatantly take song requests from like Broadway musicals and wait till I get in fights and just start singing West Side Story as I kill a bunch of dwarves or something. I don't know. So it's actually been really, really fun. And people have been enjoying it, so that's great. I have a request from the actual voice of Geralt, Doug Cockle, who does want me to sing a song by The Cure, of which I know no music whatsoever, which disappointed him greatly. So Wednesdays, you can find me on the Greyhawk channel from 2 to 5, on Board and Kindness Path of the Plains, where I am normally my bard, Relinda, but we are actually starting a really cool thing where we are running 2 parallel storylines in the same campaign. So I will be playing a new character. And for those of you who know me, it'll be awfully funny because I'm going to be a good character. Like good alignment. That's going to go well. So there's that. And then, of course, Wednesday nights, I do Web DM's Invisible Sun Across the Actuality with Grant Ellis, Unearthly Twilights, which is really fantastic. Go by the College of the Opera on DM's Guild if you want to play a badass bard that can capture people's souls and stun them, which is really awesome. I got to play one on North by Northwest, and I blew up a really cute animal.
Oh no.
It felt really bad, but it was a really great moment. So yeah, College of the Opera bard. Yeah, I think that's it. I think all my I'm at the Opera Geek on Twitter. You can see all my social stuff. It's all there.
All right, and Jillian.
Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. My name is Jillian. I'm known as G for Gaming X on Twitter and G for Gaming 1 on Twitch, where I do a lot of PS4 variety streams. I was playing some Red Dead Redemption 2 earlier today. That was pretty fun. And I don't have any other plays, just that I'm also on the RPG Lab on Tuesdays for our all-female cast Inquisition game. That's really fun. So, yeah.
Cool, and I'm Simon at Wondering_DM. Anyway, you know all of this. This is my channel. So I will see all of you tomorrow for Pulp Cthulhu at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Ciao, everyone.
Yeah.